Judith Reidy here at the Creative Zone, and I am absolutely delighted to have you join me today. Today we're going to be looking at how we can take a canvas pad and glue it to a hardboard to make a more substantial and safe way to display our artwork. And I have been working, as you know, on several portraits, and today on these canvas pads, merrily, and today I'm going to show you how that's done. Now, if you like these types of videos, I really suggest that you like and subscribe, and so you can see all of them, all the training videos that I have on painting, on themes, and you'll learn more about my membership and all the different things I offer. So let's look at this today, and I will explain as I go along how this is done. Okay, now you can see I have that canvas pad. There I have a protective sheet that I'm going to have just on the side. It's like a foam. This is the board. It's painted on both sides. I have a sander with 220 paper that I sanded that before, and then I wipe it to make sure that there's no dust particles on it. I'm going to be going over this again. Then I have two weight boards, that brown one, but you could use a large book. Then I have a utility knife, a roller, and this, you could use several different things. You could use a credit card that's old, that's plastic. I really like using this plastic thing, but you could use a cardboard. Now that's the 220 sandpaper that I use from 3M, but you could use any 220. It doesn't have to be 3M. And so before we begin, I want to before I began here, I wanted to remove some of the weight boards so that it doesn't get covered with glue, because it does get a little messy. And I want to talk to you that I generally begin with the glue on the hard board, because if you begin with the glue on the canvas pad, you're going to have it rolling, and the canvas pad is going to start rolling. But so I always begin with the hard board, and I like using this plastic, some sort of plastic flat. You could brush it on, but I really like the smoother quality I'm able to get with the plastic. And I go in different directions, and I try to get rid of any lumps, and I make sure that especially the edges, are covered, and I go over it a couple times to make sure that everything is thoroughly covered. You can see that I'm working on that now, and I'm trying to get it as smooth as I can. And it's very important that you don't have puddles, and you get those edges, and make sure those edges are done. And so, as you can see, and I have not really sped this up at all. This is the normal speed that I'm working. It doesn't take really long, but I'm really trying to give you a sense of how this does work. Okay, now it appears that I'm done with that section, so I have a little bit left. I'm going to wipe it off on the canvas panel, and pad rather, and I'm going to put glue. Now I think I should have put a little bit more glue at the start, but we can always add some glue. One of the problems that you have whenever you work on this type of thing is that the canvas pads start to curl. And so you really want to work quickly, and because once they start curling, it's a little harder to manage laying the image flat on the board. But I keep going to the edge, making sure I'm trying to get every edge. And and I go back and forth and around in different directions, making sure that I've really So now you can see it's starting to curl on the end at the top. And it really is, and it's starting to curl at the bottom. So you know that you're really getting that fabric good and wet. And I'm working on a plastic sheet, which is easy to clean. The glue, the PVC glue really dries, cleans up well on there, and I go over there. Now you got to be careful because it does dry quickly. So, and you can see it's starting to curl. Okay. And there we go. Now, the minute I pick it up, you can just see how it curled. So I have to sort of lay it down and match up the corners. I don't want to press it too hard because I have to make sure that I get it in the right space. And I work then from going from the middle out. And I had a little piece that must have fallen under there. Now, you obviously cannot do this on wet paint. So you got to keep that in mind. Ah, there we go again. Now I'm going to use the roller and going from the middle out, middle out, middle up, always from the middle out to the edges. And this brayer is really works great. I love it. I think it's the perfect tool for this project. Now the next thing I do is I may have gotten a little bit of glue on the canvas, and so I wipe this to make sure there's any glue is wiped off the top front. It's not like it came through, it's more like just maybe something got a little bit caught in the corner and it ended up. So I wanted to make sure it was particularly, so I wipe it off with clear water and then I wipe it with a dry cloth. And after I dry, I want to make sure that it's really, really pretty dry before I do the next step, which is so I'm going to go over it a couple times and make sure that cloth is thoroughly dry. And as you notice, I'm wiping from the inside out. So I'm really pleased with that. Now I want to clean this area here. And here I did speed it up a little bit so that you could see. So I wipe it dry. I could have just moved it to another location, but because I'm recording it, it made more sense to just do it all at one time. And I think I double timed it. So here we are, pretty much ready for, you want a clean surface to lay it down. I lay this sort of soft, and then I put foam on it, and then I lay the board down, face down. Over that I put the flat board, and over that I place the heavy weight. It doesn't have to be a gallon of paint or a gallon of gesso, but whatever you have that really is going to give it substantial weight. And I continue, let that like that overnight. And so then the next morning, I came in and I took this apart, and there it was. Turned it over, and there it was. Now you notice there's a little bit of the edge. that is very interesting because I actually think the canvas shrunk a little bit from the original size. So if I were to do it again, I would have pulled it down a little bit, but because I know the frame is going to be perfect, it'll work just fine. I'm not going to worry about cutting. That was how I did it, and it worked out really well. And you can see the whole process. I think when you do this for the first time, I really suggest that you don't do too large of a piece, because if you do too large of a piece, you really run into problems with how fast it dries. You might even have to put plastic on one of them to keep it from drying out, and make sure that the area is not super warm, because if you had, let's say, a 30 by 30 piece and you were trying to do this, it gets pretty tricky. But a smaller piece like that was a 12 by 16, or even a 9 by 12, or a 4 by 6. You have little pieces you want to mount. This is the perfect method. I think it's really good. Now, this was done after the painting. I'm going to be putting a substance called Gamvar over the top that'll give a little more gleam to the pieces, but I didn't want to do that until after this was mounted. And so that's what I'm probably going to be doing next. But I hope for today you found this to be helpful. Below is a link to all of the various tools that you needed for this project, and I think you're going to find it to be extremely helpful. And so until next time at the Creative Zone, Judith Reidy, and remember to like and subscribe so that you can get all the materials and help me to serve more people. Have a great day, and if you have any questions, leave the questions in the comments below. Bye.